Johnny Rock Show. Rockin' 101, the Rock Station.
901, the Johnny Rock Show. Calling from the great state of New Jersey, Don Jameson. What's that old joke? Kiss her where it smells, take her to Jersey? That's an old bad joke. No. Hey, the new comedy album, No Sleep Till McSorley's on sale, starting on the 19th. Pre-order now at most digital platforms. Don, you and I are of a certain age that we remember when yeah, so if you say so, Johnny, we remember when a comedy album, that was, that's how we got our fix. I owned all the Cheech and Chong albums, and then even Steve Martin was still pretty, King Tut and all that. Then it became sort of a lost art, and you're keeping it alive. Tell us about this new album, No Sleep Till McSorley's.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Those artists you just mentioned, I still have my original vinyl, and of course George Carlin, Occupation Fool, was my first comedy album ever. Kiss Destroyer was my first rock album ever, and the rest of my life I said these are my two worlds right here, because rock and roll and comedy are best when they're dangerous, right, Johnny? You understand this. So if your parents hate it, you loved it, right? And so, I want to bring comedy with still a little bit of danger and still that rock and roll attitude. But it's for everybody, that's the way I come from, old school. I am putting this out on vinyl over the summer. So really excited for people to hear it. I solve all the world's problems for everybody. And then I don't have to pay for therapy afterwards. I got somewhere to get my rage out.
I thought for a second you were going to say Kiss Destroyer was my second comedy album. That's the Kiss haters out there. No, I'm with you 110%. We're talking to Don Jameson. Now, that metal show, I swear to God, did you know that people would be watching this thing 20 years later? I have buddies that I'm like, you want to go out Friday and maybe a little dinner, a movie, hang? And no, I'm home watching YouTube and that metal show and all that. Why is that show still, held up on that pedestal?
You know what, man? Because fans of rock and hard rock and heavy metal are the most loyal fans of any music. So if we find something, like, we hold onto it dearly. My new album, No Sleep Till McSorley's, is a tribute to the band Motorhead and their classic live album, No Sleep Till Hammersmith. All my stand-up albums are tributes to the rock bands that I loved. We hold on to those things dearly, like we try to hold on to our hair, sometimes more successfully than others. But, these bands and this music and even the comedy, even those people you mentioned, I still pull out the Cheech and Chong albums, and it reminds me of, when I was 12 years old, playing them in my room really low so my parents didn't hear it. And while I didn't get a lot of the drug references and stuff when I was that young, I knew it was subversive. And, so I knew I was on the right path.
Now, you've met a lot of quote-unquote rock stars. I don't want to put you on the spot, but could you name, like they say, don't meet your heroes? You ever meet a rock star and just be like, oh, what a putz?
Yeah, well, I might have used a different word, but, 99% of the people that came on and did that metal show were way cool and really super down to earth and low maintenance. Like when Alice Cooper would come do the show, he'd roll in by himself, no entourage. He'd show up an hour early and he'd just read a book. And so it was time to, film the show. Same with Brian Johnson from AC/DC. He wears the same thing on stage that he wears off stage. He looks like your Uber driver. But no pretense, no rock star attitude. The only guy who was a little crazy on the show was Marilyn Manson. Cause he, Manson, he's not a shiny, happy guy. So it was a bit like herding cats with him. But, yeah, we got it done. But that's Manson, you know. Like I said, I like when rock and roll is dangerous, you know, because I think we've lost a lot of that, and especially with social media. You know, now I know what Axl Rose had for breakfast, and it's just not the same.
No, I agree. Not that you asked, but I'll tell you mine. Billy Squire, he was a putz, but I'm not the only one that thinks that. Yeah, he was. I've had many friends in radio that I'll ask them the same question. They say, "Oh, Billy Squire, he was a putz." So you know, but that's neither here nor there. No Sleep Till Mick Sorley's, the new comedy album, on sale on the 19th. Available for pre-order now, and get it on most major digital platforms. Don Jameson, I don't know if I've ever had the pleasure, and if I did, I forgot, but you're no putz. Come on back. Johnny Rock Show. Anytime. All right, buddy. Thank you, okay?
And Billy Squire can stroke me.
The Johnny Rock Show. Rockin' 101. The Rock Station.